Evening, everybody. It's me, Comic Crack. Make sure this is on. Yeah, so I have the comments on the phone again doing this. So if you do show up, feel free to chat away, message away. Before we get into things here, we're reading. My son and I are reading this Thor: God of Thunder series. We just recently, within the past week or two, managed to find the last issue that we needed for this Jason Aaron run. It's been a long time coming for me. I read the God Butcher series, and I just didn't read past it. I collected a bunch of the other comics here and there, but I never finished the whole series. I have to say the God Butcher storyline was pretty great. The storyline after that was very weak with Malekith. It was a really weak storyline. It's really hard to follow up the God Butcher story with anything else, though, to be honest. And then, yo, Nerdy Vision, how's it going, man? And then we read this one tonight. It's unbelievable. This was a fantastic issue, and part of what made it so great was this guy named Das Pastoris doing the art. The art is amazing in this issue. It's a really entertaining one-shot about Thor and a dragon getting drunk together, killing a bunch of trolls. The dragon eats some of the trolls. They find some of their liquor. They drink. They get hammered. They can't remember what happened. Really, really great little story, but the art is mind-blowing. Really wish it would have. I wish he would have done a couple of issues like this, for example. Sorry, let me get it into the light. I'm sorry about this. I'm sort of sitting on the floor here. Look at that stuff. So I knew that I recognized his art from somewhere, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. And when I looked him up, turns out he did this book. And this kind of ties into Red River Bookshop haul that I'm going to be talking about today, because I managed to find this at Red River Bookshop. I don't even know how many months ago, quite a while ago, maybe almost a year ago, I don't quite remember, upstairs. So the first Saturday of every month, which I've talked about before, which was today actually, the upstairs is opened and you can go and kind of browse around. And I found a couple of these kind of bande dessinée, humanoids publishing type of books. So he does the art in this one. And on Comic Vine, it's a great, the story itself is okay. I remember it being just okay. But again, it was one of those things that the art was more the art that drew me to it. It looks like I was looking him up on Comic Vine, and he's been doing some of the Atlas comics as well too. I'm far behind on the Atlas, so I haven't been reading every single issue yet. I do have a bunch of the issues. I just haven't stuck into all of them. He also did a single issue of the female Thor run. What else had he done? I think there was a couple of Wolverine one-shots that he did as well, but mostly kind of like heavy metal and humanoids publishing stuff, and Jodorowsky stuff is what he's kind of specialized in. But his art is something else. If you don't have that Thor God of Thunder, issue number 18, it's well worth checking out. Okay, so that kind of leads us into the swap that we did today. My son went through his room after Christmas. It's kind of a good time to, let's go through the room. Let's see what you have. Let's see what you want to get rid of. Let's make some space for new stuff. I've been doing the same. I reorganized all the comic boxes, relabeled stuff. Just finishing labeling and filling boxes. There's some half-empty boxes, like this one is half empty, so there's other boxes remaining over here to kind of sort properly, try to get everything organized. So while I've been doing this, it's the usual, taking another hard look at all the books. I really want to keep the collection to these two shelves. So taking a hard look at stuff and getting rid of books. So I had almost a short box full, and my son had a nice sizable stack. We took him to Red River, and as usual, Dennis at Red River was just great. Um, my son also had books to trade in as well. I think he gave us about 60, what did he say, $66 in trade for books. Is that what it was? I don't remember. And then my son had about we had about $300 worth of trade for comics between the two of us. My son picked about $75 worth of stuff, somewhere around there. He was a little hard pressed to find stuff. So, I tried to ease back for a little bit. And then once he kind of gave me the go ahead, I just kind of went full hog. I didn't want to just overpower everything. I wanted to make sure he got a good stab at getting a bunch of comics that he wanted. He actually found some Doctor Who comics, which he was excited about. They reprint the UK series. I didn't bring them down. He's got them up in his room, but he was really excited about that. He's a big Doctor Who fan, so I think he found about 6 or 7 issues of those. One was IDW reprints, and I don't remember, was the other one Image? I don't remember. Maybe it was all IDW. Anyway, he found that and a bunch of other stuff that he's pretty excited about, so that's cool. This is what I got. This one is at the front because this is the one, for me, this is the one. I've been looking for this book for I don't know how long. I really love Ted McKeever. I have his Batman Nosferatu and Superman Metropolis, I think is the one that Superman was. I have those, and I hadn't actually heard about this third one for many years. But when I did find out about it, I couldn't find it anywhere. It was just one of those books that never popped up. Up until recently, I never really kind of went to the internet to kind of hunt for books, because I know, obviously, internet, you can find everything and anything. It's not like I'm against using it. I do use it. But I was really happy to find this. I'm super excited about this one. For the most part, Dennis and Red River Bookshop, they have very reasonable prices. Every once in a while, you come across something that's a little, I don't know. I mean, so the prices that you're seeing on are exactly what they were. But again, we traded in books, so I don't feel like, would I have spent, I probably would have spent $11 to get this since I've wanted it for so long. I'm not crazy about the $11 price tag, but whatever, it's trading, so it works for me. So that's super exciting. And then keeping on the Wonder Woman tip, I don't know, I read a couple of these older Wonder Womans that I have with Lillian. She was kind of engaged, kind of not. Some of the stories were a little long. Thankfully, one or two of the issues that I had before, they had like 2 shorter stories in them. So that kind of helped. But it was fun. She actually wanted to read them. After we read the first story, probably, I don't know, if a few days later, she came down here and we were hanging out down here. And she asked if we could sit and read another one. So we sat in my chair and read another issue. So these were pretty reasonably priced as well too. This is a Wonder Woman Giant. This is number 217. And, oh, I missed one here. 217, and this one is number 219. Let's do this properly. 217, 219. And lo and behold, I managed to find one of the 4 issues of the Trina Robbins Legend of Wonder Woman miniseries. Again, super excited. The Amazing Amazon is If You've Never Seen Her by Trina Robbins and Kurt Busiek. So I'm really looking forward. This is one that I'm going to read tonight. Probably this and the Elseworlds Wonder Woman. But really nice copy as well. And Trina doing Wonder Woman is a pretty great thing. I'm super excited about that. Again, this is another one of those books. I never see it out in the wild. I've never seen it yet. Not even one in ratty-ass condition. This is the first one I've ever seen. So that was cool. I was hoping to score a bunch of Batman Adventures from him, but this was the only one that he had, issue number 32. Dominic, hello. Thank you for joining. Batman Adventures number 32. And this that I hadn't heard of. I think it's just a 4-issue miniseries. The Batman Adventures, The Lost Years. This is book 3, the only one that he had there. Or the only one that I saw, anyway. I didn't have a chance to dig too much upstairs. I've talked about Red River before. It's kind of chaotic, which isn't a bad thing. It's kind of fun digging through the bins and stuff. But upstairs is even more chaotic. There's books all over the place. So, yeah, I mean, Red River is pretty good prices there, Nerdy Vision. Picker Nation, how are you doing, man? Yeah, $3 a pop is pretty good there, Nerdy Vision. Red River's a great spot. I mean, I praise it all the time. I've been going there since I was young. The guy's a really good dude. Oh, five-issue series. Thank you very much, Dominic. Features the origin of Nightwing. Awesome. So, yeah, this will be cool. I'm looking forward to digging into this a little more. Another one closing in on completing the Batman Chronicles. This is issue number 20. I think I need 2 or 3 more issues and I'm done. And I was lucky to find a couple of more. Again, another series I'm really close to completing. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight. This is number 175 and 181 with a pretty decent cover there. So yeah, 2 more to completing that. Realized I'm missing 2 issues of Trillium. This is number 6, and I'm missing the final issue, which I think is number 8. So that's cool, finding 1 more of those. 1 more and I got the whole series. This was super exciting for me. He had a whole bunch of Concrete, but then he also had a stack of Dark Horse Presents. I only got a few of them because there were so many other titles that I wanted to dig into. I didn't want to focus just on one book. I wanted to try to get a variety and fill some gaps. So Dark Horse Presents number 2. They didn't have issue number 1. Dark Horse Presents number 3. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to, I'm trying to keep it manageable. This is the thing, right? Like, I take in, we probably had, between us, I had about 3/4 of a short box. My son had maybe a half a short box. We came back with probably, I don't know, just less than a full short box, right? Between the 2 of us. So I did shrink it a little bit. And actually, speaking of shrinking, right now on Facebook, I'm on the Winnipeg Comic Addicts Facebook and Facebook page, and I have an auction going there where I'm selling, like, I think I have about 1 short box worth of comics up for sale on there. So yes, I know it's as funny as it is trading all these in for getting rid of comics to get comics. Yeah, it is decreasing a little bit. What can I say? I'm an addict. So this is Dark Horse Presents number 3. Dark Horse Presents number 4 with the series Trekker that I've always been curious about. And of course Concrete and Boris the Bear is in here as well. Dark Horse Presents number 5. And Dark Horse Presents number 6. And then a bunch of Concrete. One of those kind of series that's a little confusing to me because, like Blade of the Immortal, for example, there's a bunch of different little storylines. I'm not sure what order they go in. I think my list on my CLZ app is pretty good. I think they do a pretty good job on that app of Dark Horse Presents, especially when the Sin City run starts. Yeah, that's the thing with collecting some of these series. I know that some of them have some really big stories in it that might be a bit pricier. I think issue number 1 is pretty pricey because is that the first Concrete? Is that where that comes into play? Maybe I'm wrong about that, but he had a bunch of them there for really reasonably priced. So I think I did pretty good. I believe this is the first series, so this is number 1. Number 2. And number 3, and I think I have number 5 as well. So at least I can start in on reading it now, which is great because it's just one of those series that I've always heard really, really good things about. The Full Color Special, I believe this was just a one-off. And this one, this is just an amazing cover. Very Darrow-esque. And looking at it again, I'm not convinced that it's not. I don't see his name on it, but this is a story called Think Like a Mountain. So that's chapter 1, chapter 3, chapter 5, and I think I already have chapter 6. And then another one-shot called Odd Jobs with a wraparound cover. So that's cool. I'm pretty excited. There was some other concretes there as well too, but there were ones that I already had. And then I found some of the standalone issues of Trekker by Ron Randall. So issue number 1, issue number 2, issue number 3, and then a color special, a one-shot. I think this series only went 5 or 6. Maybe it was 6, I don't remember. He actually had the other ones there as well. I'm not sure why I didn't just bite the bullet and just get the other ones, but there you go. Trekker special. And then I got a whole bunch of Spirit. This was kind of right at the end when my son kind of gave me the go-ahead. Yeah, this is all the books that I want. And we still had, I think, $75 left, so I just went for it. Because he's always got a stack of Spirit magazines and comics there. So I dug into this now and now have the new Spirit Adventures. This one, for example, has Moore and Gibbons. All of these are kind of more modern artists doing their take of the Spirit. Neil Gaiman in this one, Dan Burr, John Wagner, Carlos Esquera. That'll be a cool one. This is issue number 2 of the New Adventures. And issue 6 of the New Adventures. So that completes that mini-series for me. And then he had a whole bunch of the kitchen sink run. So issue number 7, and I just got a bunch of them. Issue number 10, 44 pages, 5 classic stories. Issue number 12, which is a bit of a shorter one. That's an odd, I never actually noticed that. It's narrower and shorter. I'm not sure what the hell happened there. Anyway, issue 12, issue 17. Some of these Spirit covers are just exceptional. Number 18. Sorry if I've missed any comments. I haven't been looking at the phone there. Issue number 20. Love this cover. Issue number 21. Great colors on these. And of course, I mean, Eisner is just, I don't know, I really love Eisner. Issue number 23. Number 24. Love this cover as well too. Blue and yellow and green, fantastic. 25, really just pops. Love it. This is a fantastic one as well. Number 26. And number 28. Number 33. And finally number 39. So that was good to get my mitts on some of that stuff. In my never-ending quest for all things 3D from Blackthorn Publishing, this is part 2 of a 2-part series, Salimba in 3D. I haven't looked through it yet. I'm not sure if the glasses are still in there. It's a Paul Chadwick cover too, which is kind of cool. Some more Eclipse. Managed to find a few more Eclipse that I needed. An Air Fighters miniseries, number 1 of 3, Skywolf, the only one they had. The final one that I needed from the Scout miniseries, New America, number 3 of 4, so that gives me that whole miniseries now. And couldn't resist these, even though I have most of the original Star Reach. He had actually the Star Reach that I'm missing there, but they're pretty pricey. They were like $12, $15, $18 kind of thing. Not really willing to pay that. I'm sure that if I just hold out, I'll be able to find them for cheap, because the other Star Reach that I have, I've found for pretty cheap. Anyway, this is issue number 3 for 2 bones, and issue number 5 of Star Reach Classics with Howard Chaykin, Steve Ditko. Another Eclipse. He had a bunch of these. I only got one because the art doesn't really appeal to me. The only thing that appeals to me about picking this up is the fact that it's an Eclipse comic. And I am working on getting the entire Eclipse series, which I know is a bit going to be a bit insane. Fantagraphic Books, Girl Talk. I have one of these issues already for mature readers, obviously. Another Fantagraphics, something called Grit Bath #3. Don't know anything about it, but it's Fantagraphics, so it's worth a try. I was hoping to find some Evangeline there as well. Adam has talked about Evangeline as well, and I have a few of the issues too that I really enjoyed. In my kind of to read again pile, or to read, I do have some Whisper and Evangeline sitting there because I'd like to dig into those again, because I don't think I've read all the issues that I have. So I managed to find some more Whisper from First Comics. This is #2. I already have #1. #6. And #8 with a pretty great cover there. This one I could not pass up. The Adventures of Theone, I believe is how you say that, from a company called Pyramid Comics. And I looked, when I saw Pyramid Comics, we used to have a record store in town called Pyramid Records, and I was wondering if maybe they were related. I couldn't see anything inside that said Winnipeg. The cover is a bit deceiving. As much as I love the cover, there's some pretty interesting art in here. There's a really good pin-up by this Don Bryan as well, too. So this is 1986. It's only a 3-issue series. They only had issues 1 and 2, unfortunately. But yeah, this was just such an oddball. I couldn't pass it up. I kind of really dig the art. It's as ridiculous as that is, it's pretty great. Again, I mean, it just falls right in my wheelhouse of, like, it's just a guy doing a comic, you know what I mean? He's not necessarily trained. He's not going for looking like DC or anything like that. He's just doing a comic. That really appeals to me. Another one I couldn't pass up. They've talked about Kafka in Mystery, and it's from Renegade Press, which was the offshoot of Aardvark Vanheim. So they had issues 1, issue 2, and issue 3. So I decided to give it a shot and continue on with the Renegade collection. This one, I have an issue of this series somewhere. It's probably issue 4, because I think I picked up issue... Oh, no, it's issue 3 probably, because I managed to pick up issue 1, 2, and 4. Something called The Eradicators, again, from a company called Silver Wolf Comics presents The Eradicators. And again, how can you go wrong with a cover like that? That's ridiculous. There's issue 1. There's issue 2. And here, my friends, is issue #3. Look at this thing. It's just a beast of a comic. And my ever-continuing hunt for all things TSR. This is Intruder 2, The Next Dimension, Part 1 of a new miniseries. I have the first 4 issues of Intruder. This is #5, basically. I got #5 and #6. So the thing with comics, another Canadian publisher that put out Yummy Fur, Mr. Brown's Yummy Fur, also did some, not Stig's Inferno, Post Brothers, did some annoying Post Brothers stuff too. Something called Kelvin Mace. I think there was only ever 2. Yeah, almost has a Madball feel to it. Yeah, or are you talking these ones? Or are you talking this one, this Kelvin Mace? There was only 2 issues of this, and they had both of them, so I grabbed them both. Got to support those no longer existing Canadian companies, right? And then finally, this was from upstairs. This wasn't part of the trade. This one I bought with my own money. Oh, the one with the monsters. Yeah, Intruder. I bought with my own money. I got another issue as a act of kindness from an unnamed individual. So I've never seen these around. And the 1 or 2 times that I have at like the big comic show, they've gone for really big money. This one, I didn't keep the bag. How much was it? I want to say it was like $6 or $8. It wasn't that expensive. So I gave it a shot. And in it, this great page to flop open to. From Hell, there's a chapter 4. I believe, yes, chapter 4 of From Hell. A bunch of other crazy stories. What else was in here? Yes, that's right. Lost Girls. There was some color Lost Girls. Little write-up on it. And bibliography of Alan Moore and Melinda Gibby. And a bunch of other crazy-ass comics in there. So that was kind of a nice find as well. Taboo. There you have it. That is the stack of books that will find their way into these boxes here somewhere. There's plenty of room in some of these boxes. Yeah, I'm super happy with this whole organization. It's looking a lot better. It's much easier to kind of decipher for me now. Everything written out. Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, Nerdvision. It's, if you haven't, I mean, I'm assuming you've been to Red River at least once in your life. It's really worth going to check out. It is, like I said, it isn't the most organized. You really do have to dig through the bins. Some of them are kind of on the bottom shelf. So that's, especially for an old bastard like me, it's a little difficult to kind of get down on my bad knees and try to dig through some of those boxes. But it's always worth it. I always find great stuff. He's always been good to me as far as trading in books. He's always done me a solid when it comes to that stuff. I never have left there feeling like I've been ripped off or taken advantage of. When he kind of came over and hesitated, like, well, you know, I was thinking those comics, I don't know, maybe how about $300 for a trade? Me and my son were like, shit, that's fantastic. We'll take it. You know, didn't put up any sort of fight. Maybe he's just used to people fighting with him on stuff. I don't really know, but he's treated me fair all the time, and there's always some gold in there. Whenever I'm hunting for something and I've run out of the other shops, I always go to Red River and do a dig through his bins for stuff that I'm looking for. He was kind enough to hook me up with a whole bunch of Ms. Tree books just recently when I posted on the Facebook group. He's a part of that group as well, too. Well worth going to check out. It would definitely be the place that I would take somebody if they came from out of town and they were into comics. We would definitely spend a half a day or a couple of hours there. And like I said, the first Saturday of every month is when the upstairs is open. I'm really planning to, I'm hoping next month, go in on the first Saturday and just spend my time upstairs, really giving those bins a dig through, because there's some gold up there. I can smell it. We were at the end of our digging, and my son was being extremely patient with me and standing by while I still dug through bins, but I barely made a dent up there. Anyway, now I'm just rambling. Thanks very much for tuning in. Thanks everybody in the chat, and we'll talk to y'all soon.